Guys, deluded Guna, you choosing Golo Kante. Sadly, a bit of a sad note. We know several incidences have come out about Chelsea in relation to racism, and let's not blanket all of their fans, but recently you've seen the train, you've seen several things, and you've seen a lot of allegations from players or youth players from the 1970s to the late 80s coming out with things. Now there's already 4, 5, 6, 7 already allegations, but another one has come out and accused Glenn Williams, the former Chelsea scout slash, well, not Chelsea's manager but football manager, and he now works at Leeds. He famously worked under Ranieri. Allegedly he helped sign John Terry. I don't really believe that, because John Terry, you could see how good he was at them ages if you just go and do your research on Google. But either way, that's what he's credited within it. Now it's sad, man. Him and a couple others. I've got it somewhere here. I'll allude to it later. But another guy has been accused of racism and abuse of a young teen, as young as 13 at the time. Now he's now in his 50s, I believe, and I'll allude to it. But it is quite sickening. Now, what I've got here in the bullet points: allegations about a culture of continued bullying and abuse that is said to have left one of the club's former youth players so traumatized he has deliberately avoided going anywhere near Stamford Bridge in more than 30 years, and finds it difficult to even watch them on TV because of the psychological scars. Now, people would say that's nonsense, but it's true. It's true. Do you know how much of a life this guy's probably been robbed of now with it when it comes to being socially viable, when it comes to opening up to people, when it comes to trusting people? All of these things he's been robbed of. He's been robbed of his innocence, essentially, because of this bullying, and it's damn right disrespectful. Why is it that these racism, that's not a word. Why is it only that these racists pick on women and little kids? Like, I know why. They're cowards. They can't chat nonsense to people that can actually do something about it. Why do we see videos of them getting one banged and them things there? Like, it's sad, man, that someone would do this. I mean, especially if you're doing this to your own academy boys. Like, why have you really got them there and putting them through the mental abuse? And it shows how much of a low person you are. Typically, he's a thing. He denied allegations, but it's worth being said. Multiple people are saying this about you. Everybody can't be wrong. I'm not gonna pinpoint, as much as this guy clearly annoys me, I'm not gonna pick sides. But yeah, man. Also, legal papers delivered to Chelsea claim the player still suffers from flashbacks and has been damaged for life because of the racism he allegedly encountered from Glenn Williams, a prominent figure for 25 years. So you see what I'm saying? This guy even said he wouldn't tell his dad because he was scared he wouldn't be a footballer, and he was scared that his dad would go down there and march. I mean, you should have told your dad, man, because no one should, at 13 years of age, you shouldn't put up with this. But I can understand, man. I can understand at 13 years of age, the logic. I wouldn't have done that at 13. I would open my mouth, but yeah. In a statement submitted as part of his legal claim, the player alleges the abuse, and it's worth as well. When I read this, he said he don't care about peas, but the abuse started soon after he joined the club's youth system at age 13, and says it continues for 6 years up until he abandoned his career despite signing as a professional because his self-belief had been shattered and the prospect of seeing Williams made him feel physically sick. So he got a professional deal. He was there for 6 years. So at 19 or so, he got a professional deal. He was on the cross for being a footballer, and he threw it away because of the abuse. Now, like, nothing will happen to this guy ultimately, but Williams is a sick individual. Now you can sleep at night knowing you did this to someone. If you did do this to someone, it's sad. He referred joining Chelsea as a dream come true when he joined them in 1979, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he's in the same year Williams was appointed at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, see, look, he joined the same year Williams was at Stamford Bridge, man, and he walked through the system as well and saw several players: Kerry Dixon, Nigel Spankman, David Speedy, and Pat Nevin. I know Pat Nevin, but the rest, well, they're all before my time. But those of you old enough to remember, you see, so you could see that definitely Pat Nevin, pardon my language, has been held in high regard by Chelsea fans and older Chelsea fans. So you can see what could have been, and you've already seen several other stories of what Chelsea fans at that period did to their own players, let alone opposition, the monkey chants and things like that. We know you have to be thick-skinned as a black person in society, in England in general, more so. And football is a reflection of that, especially during this time as well, man. Like, and the other guy involved was Graham Wiggs, to be honest with you, man. Like, it's ridiculous, man. There's over 44 separate allegations relating to this, so there's no smoke without fire. Behind the scenes, however, he said he was subjected to repeated abuse from Williams, calling him, and pardon my language, people, but you guys know I'm never going to pull any punches, nignog, nigger, darky, rubber lips, shoe shine, sambu, Lazy black bastard. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff will get man bang dropped, you know. But you see all of the stuff that man are dealing with, cowardless, and it hurts me to come and roll these things off the tongue, to be honest with you. Like, I personally get a lot of these comments on my YouTube thing, but like I can't do nothing about them 12-year-old virgins that just chat nonsense in the comments. But like, and there was one incident telling him to stop being a little coon snitch. My God, my Lord, wow. When he tried to report a serious assault from another player. So, is he being racially assaulted and abused then? He never said that, so I'm not going to thingy that. But I'm trying to paint a picture, and only God knows what happened behind the scenes that we'll never know, man. Like, from the fact that a man can't even go near Stamford Bridge. Now, a lot of people, and myself included when I saw this to the degree, thought it could have been a bit of an exaggeration in regards to the Stamford Bridge thing, not wanting to go there. But you cannot overstate the psychological effects that bullying has on anybody. Like, physically being bullied or physically being abused is a madness. But them scars, and I'm not saying they're better, but eventually, or 9 times out of 10, them scars may heal. It's the mental. Again, not really the same, but domestic abuse, the physical, the punch-ups, all of these things hurt. But why normally the domestic violence victims stay? Because they're mentally being picked on. People are making them believe they're the only ones for them. They're the only ones that love them. You can't do any better than us. You can't be. You become nothing without me. So people that are being, pardon my language, smack up all across the house, iron thrown in their face, and all mad examples of domestic abuse, stay. So we can apply that same logic. Like, it's not always a case of, and I was guilty of saying it when I said he should have told his dad. It's not always a case of telling the relevant people or standing up. Some people deal with things in different ways. Some people don't even know how to deal with things. Some people can't recognize what's being thrown at them. So we can't put people in any boxes, and it's important not to have an opinion on this, man. Like, I really sympathise with players in today's society, because you're seeing the racism both in our country. Look at all the racial incidences by Kick It Out, etc., and all over the world where people are just getting little fines, whether it was in France, Italy, Russia, wherever. It's hard being black now, but being a black footballer in the 70s and 80s, my word, that's all I can say. And on that note, all I can say is sad, but black will always be beautiful, black will always be wavy, chocolate will always be in fashion, man. Like, these racists can't do nothing. We're too strong for this. You can get one down, but you can't get us all down. He's a waste man. His wife probably cheating on him with someone, with a young Jamal or something anyways. Guys, deluded, Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest. I'm out. It's a very depressing subject. But yeah, man, check out the other vids away from this sort of stuff anyways. I'm out.